But our first reader tonight is going to be Stephanie Schultz. Stephanie Schultz is a poet and marathon runner in St. Paul, Minnesota. Her work has appeared in or is forthcoming in South Dakota Magazine, Wild Quarterly, Carnival Literary Magazine, Diverse Voices Quarterly, and the anthologies Prairie Gold, an anthology of the American Heartland, and Lifting the Sky, Southwestern Haiku, and Haiga. She will graduate from Hamline University in December with an MFA in creative writing. Please welcome Stephanie.
Hello. So I'm not actually in the almanac, but I do write a lot about St. Paul. So I picked a bunch of poems that are about St. Paul, and most of them are also about running. The first one's called Sprinting in the Wind. Sprinting in the wind brings happiness, she says, and she calls upon the warm July winds of Minnesota summer to push on her back and make her fly. Of course, there is no shortage of winter there, blizzards no match for days spent warm wishing. But sometimes on a summer day she picks the right route, the right weather reveals itself, and the right wind comes to pick her up. Her shadow rides upon the breeze beside her, the tree's shadows bow, and the leaves part mid-flight for her to pass. Driving I-94 west, St. Paul to St. Cloud. 1. I'm trying to imagine that I've never been here before, that this is my first time in Minnesota, and I've never seen half-melted snow covering dirty farmland like this, that the naked trees lining the road are not common and uninteresting. Would anyone really find this beautiful? Along the Pacific coast, deep-colored firs pile on one another in curves of lush western land, and somehow fog accentuates the vast splendor of the scenery. Are the residents of that land as immune as I am to mine? 2. Elsewhere, the sun sets behind mountains. No grandiose sky lights up across the spectrum, deepening after minutes for miles. Here it's fascinating how row after row of cornstalk piles on one another until they disappear into the thin black line of the Midwestern horizon. How could anyone not find this beautiful? The snow is finally melting, revealing grass already turning green for the season. The farmland is soon to follow, crops taking over the flat land. Could the people of this land ever get immune to this? And in this series of poems, you're going to see all 4 seasons, so they don't really pertain to right now, the middle of winter. And this one's actually not in St. Paul, this one's in Mankato. It's called Mankato Marathon. The blue October sky peeks at us through bright golden leaves barely holding on to this 60-degree day. We are running the last 4 miles of the marathon. We can do this. We stopped earlier, briefly. Our legs cramped, we walked, but we made it 22 miles too far to stop. Now we have 2 miles left on a trail above the Minnesota River, bald eagles soaring above, presiding over this endeavor. We walk, run, past our cousin's high school, past our grandma's cub foods, past the road that led us to her old house with Grandpa, the one with the brown siding and bushes lining the driveway, the backyard garden with the ravine and sledding hills. We run past this part of our past and reach the finish line where our parents, our wives, our dogs, and our fans watch us finish this race after we thought we'd quit. Our legs kept going after we thought they'd stopped. Flood. Have you seen the river lately? It's high and flooding. It's nearly eaten the picnic area. The park parking lot will be next. So you run down the trail and try to keep pace with the rushing waters, foaming and full of fallen cotton. You scare a giant blue heron who flaps his wings away from you as you pedal your legs away toward the sound the wind makes in the cottonwoods. But no, it's the river again. It's like that music playing outside your window at this very moment. You can't see it or anyone, but that saxophone is coming in through the crack, the drum and bass driving, until it is suddenly cut short. The owner of the boombox must see you standing there, blinding yourself against the sun nearly set. You wondering, why this? How does this just happen? Receptive river run. I hear the Mississippi and its wind, how it pushes the water only so far then melts away in the distance. How it shakes loose diminishing leaves above me, brushes branches across my bare arms and legs. How it urges the wheels of bicyclists flying past and disappearing down the path. Today in the city, the Marshall Lake Street Bridge is busy during rush hour, but the Halo Jesus graffiti stops his one-dimensional reign to watch me run for the first time. And underneath the Lake Street Bridge, there really was Jesus graffiti underneath there for a while. It's been painted over like twice since then, but he was there one time. Wordless. A dictionary is lying in the middle of Fairview Avenue. I notice it as we wait for our light to turn to enter Highway 36. Cars speed past us over the open book, overlooking it completely, flipping through its pages, each one landing on new words. Brake pad, exhaustion, spare tire. Does the street know its own definition? Roadway, thoroughfare, lane, alley. What else do these cars want to know? Their owners apparently know everything already, each one speeding off toward their wordless lives. BNSF. Burlington, Northern, and Santa Fe. Your train cars sit still beneath me. I can feel the heat of your engines as I run over this bridge. I'm training for this race challenge. I just ran a 10K, now I'm on a 5K. Every slight incline wants to kill me. I'm moving slow, but I'm not dead yet. Badass, not so fast, but nevertheless strong feet. Be not slow forever. Best negative split finish. 50 minutes, 25 minutes, I'm on my way to a personal record. The third race is 10 miles. I'll do it. I did it. Belief never so fierce. Miles 21 to 26. This has an epigraph from Deborah Keenan. You are running down Summit Avenue in the dark. Harmony and the moon and the screaming girl. There's more than screaming girls here. Boys, women, and men too. Children and adults alike. Spectators line Summit Avenue. They seem as majestic as the houses they're in front of, as stoic as the trees, arms like branches waving in the wind. On the street, we are panicked and drained, with 5 miles to go to the cathedral, the capital, our medals screaming for us at the finish, our legs screaming at each other. Pick up the pace, do not slow down. And the sun is shone finally after miles of rain, but we are not dry. We are covered in salt and sweat. We run toward that sun, and as the day comes to an end, we run toward that moon, that harmonious dark we only see after finishing. Perside. When you see it, you'll know. It's not your eyes playing tricks, the bats swooping through the air, not seeing streaks across the northeast sky. Comet tails, the proof of shooting stars. It will come suddenly. You'll gasp, and I'll say, what? And you'll wonder from the top of the great dark bluff above the river if you were the only person to see that one, if you'll always have it to yourself. And the last poem is called Labor Day. The sun seems further away already, the sky that deep cerulean, a blue only made that way by the contrasting orange and red leaves of the turning trees. But they haven't turned yet, the birds are still here too, and as they flitter above me, I'm suddenly afraid of kicking them, their shadows dark at my feet. Thank you.